pre-need funerals, burials, or cremation since 1975. Curtis and Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg. Mrs. Paulette Denise Vick died yesterday in Oxford. Funeral arrangements to be announced by Curtis and Son Funeral Home, North Chapel. Funeral service for Mrs. Glenda Ivy, age 90, of Sylacauga, is this morning at 11 a.m. from Curtis and Son North. I'll be officiating that service. Burial in the Marble City Cemetery. Mrs. Ivy, a graduate of Sylacauga High School and Stevens College for Girls, attended University of Alabama. She was a lifelong resident of Sylacauga. She was past member of the Matrons Study Club, DAR Music Study Club, the Pilot Club. She was an election poll worker in Sylacauga for over 70 years. So you folks that voted in Sylacauga, J. Craig, you saw this lady every time. She was a bowler well into her 80s. She loved bowling, and she was the owner and operator of the Rocket Roller Rink, Sylacauga Lanes, and the Love Frame Club. Online condolences at CurtisandSonFH.com. Curtis and Son Funeral Home, North Chapel, directing. Visitation for Harris Donald Saunders will be Thursday at noon at Radley Smith Funeral Home Chapel. A memorial service will follow immediately at 2 in the chapel, Brother David Vick officiating. Interment at a later date in the National Cemetery in Montevallo. Mr. Saunders died May 14th. Memorial messages may be sent to the family at radleysmith.com. Radley Smith Funeral Home, Sylacauga, directing. Funeral service for Edna McDaniel, age 75, of Sylacauga, is today at noon from the chapel of Radley Smith Funeral Home. Brother Tony McGrady officiating. Burial in the Evergreen Cemetery. Mrs. McDaniel died Sunday, May 12th at Shelby Baptist Medical Center. Visitation is this morning, 10 a.m. until noon at the funeral home. Memorial messages may be sent to the family at radleysmith.com. Radley Smith Funeral Home, directing. Visitation for Jamie Hardy, age 50, of Sylacauga, will be today from 5 until 8 p.m. at Radley Smith Funeral Home. Mr. Hardy died May 14th at Coosa Valley Medical Center. In lieu of flowers, a family asset contribution be sent to Ribbons of Hope Foundation, Inc. And you may mail those donations to Ribbons of Hope Foundation, 800 Shelton Shores Drive, Talladega, 35160. Memorial messages may be sent to the family at radleysmith.com. Radley Smith Funeral Home, directing. Graveside service for Vernita Jackson, age 85, of Leeds, is today at 10 o'clock from Talladega Springs Baptist Church Cemetery. Dr. Tim Cox officiating. Ms. Jackson died May 10th. Memorial messages may be sent to the family at radleysmith.com. Radley Smith Funeral Home, directing. Funeral service for Mr. Billy J. Ralph Sr., age 60, will be Thursday at 11 a.m. from Ursery Funeral Home in Pell City. The Reverends Ronnie Ralph and Willard Ralph officiating. Interment in the Uleton Methodist Cemetery. The family receiving friends tonight, 6 until 8 at the funeral home. Online condolences at urseryfuneralhome.com. Ursery Funeral Home, Pell City, directing. Funeral service for Mr. Fred G. Cooper, age 77, will be this morning at 10 o'clock from Wright's Funeral Home, with the Reverend Dr. Albert Pike officiating. Burial in the Second Baptist Church Cemetery in Weguffka. Mr. Cooper died Saturday, May 12th at his residence. He was a member of the River Road Baptist Church. Wright's Funeral Home, directing. Memorial messages may be sent to wrightfuneralservice.com. Mrs. Josephine L. Austin McElrath, age 96, funeral service will be held Thursday at Settlement Road Church of Christ in Sylacauga at noon. Bishop Andrew Thomas Sr. officiating. Burial in the Settlement Church of Christ Cemetery in Sylacauga. Visitation today, 1 until 8 at the funeral home. Miss McElrath died May 10th at her residence in Sylacauga. Online condolences at communityfuneralhome.org. Community Funeral Home, Sylacauga, directing. Mr. Hubert Stanley Clements, age 75, of Lincoln, died May 14th. Funeral service will be held 2:30 Thursday at Ursery Funeral Home in Pell City, with the Reverend Brian Bagwell officiating. The family receiving friends Thursday, 1 until 2:30 at the funeral home. Condolences may be offered online at earthstreetfuneralhome.com. Earth Street Funeral Home, Pell City directing. Mr. James Edward Hill, age 64, died May 13th at his residence. He was a native of Clay County and a resident of Talladega County. A memorial service will be announced at a later date. Miller Funeral Home in Oxford in charge of the arrangements. A memorial service for Mrs. Ellen Johnson Smith, age 89, of Munford, will be held at a later date as well. Mrs. Smith died May the 11th at RMC's Stringfellow in Anniston. Cremation Services of East Alabama handling the arrangements. Ms. Rebecca Lynn Hall of Sylacauga, formerly of Goodwater, died May 16th. Died May 15th at her residence. Funeral arrangements to be announced by Wright's Funeral Home in Alexander City. This look at obituaries is a presentation of Curtis and Son Funeral Home, the North Chapel on Highway 21 in Sylacauga, and the Childersburg Chapel on Highway 280 in Childersburg. 256-245-4361. This Curtis and Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg.